Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Major Bernie Kale, if you don't know me. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for the Delaware National Guard. I'm moving into a role of the officer in charge for the Delaware Air National Guard, recruiting and retention. Now, I figured I'd come on here and maybe share a few tidbits of wisdom and knowledge, both good and bad, that I've learned over my course of 21 plus years as a prior enlisted Air National Guardsman and then moving into my officer role. So if you guys would like to hear me out, I have a few tidbits that I'd like to share just in these short little video clips to share with my experience being in the military, and then also in a life, I will say, well-lived, mostly well-lived. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is confidence is good, but knowledge is the most important. So when I deployed in 2007, I was a port dog. I was an aerial port. I was in 2007, and I deployed with a small contingent of my unit to Al Udeid Air Base. And if you are an aerial port for any amount of time, odds are you've been to Al Udeid. Very busy air base at that time. And how it works in the Air National Guard and the Air Force is you would deploy with small little units, and then you would all go to one base and you would meet up with other Air National Guard, Air Force Reserve, and active duty Air Force members, and you would then become a team over there. So I was a staff sergeant at the time. We had deployed with a group of my fellow brothers and sisters from the Alaska National Guard at that time, and we linked up with a team from, without giving away names and places, it was an Air National Guard team from the South, and we got linked up with them, and it was a master sergeant who was our senior NCO, and I worked night shift with a group of my teammates, and we would get a evening briefing before our shift would start every night. And I was introduced by this senior NCO, and he would give us these briefings, and he would always start it off with some random quote or saying that I'm pretty sure he made up. And he would always end the briefing with, "Who don't understand?" And after a few nights, me and my friends thought it'd be funny if we'd just raise our hands to see if he would call on us. He would look out and he would see the sea of hands from his airmen that would raise up and want to ask a question. And he would look right past us and go, "All right, do what it do." And he would walk off. He never, ever answered a single one of our questions. Well, in the first few nights with his random quotes and sayings, one was, "Don't use an iPod." This is 2007. "Have an icon." And we think he meant don't use iPods while working on forklifts or on the flight line. But he didn't say that. He just had a random quote. And he said it with confidence. So when he first started doing this, we were like, well, I don't know, maybe that makes sense to somebody. And we just sort of passed it off as, okay, well, he obviously must know what he's talking about, right? Well, a couple months go by. We're about halfway through our deployment, and this had been going on just about every night with his evening brief. And at that point, we were still on the fence. We were pretty sure he didn't know what he was doing, but we didn't really know. And I remember distinctly the last quote when we finally made our decision. He goes, "If you can't teach a bird to fly, eat it. Who don't understand?" We would all raise our hands up. "All right, do what it do." And he wandered off, and we would never see him the rest of the night. And it was at that moment we knew that this senior NCO did not know a lick of what he was talking about. He had the confidence to lead, but he didn't have the knowledge to lead. So that life lesson right there for me taught me that confidence is good, but knowledge is better. And if you're going to be leading folks, you don't have to know every single thing and all the intricacies of their career fields or whoever you're managing or leading, but you do have to have an understanding of what they will be doing while they are under your leadership. Because if you don't, you will have no clue that the situations that they're in, and they won't fully understand how to communicate to you, especially if you are acting overconfident in your own abilities. So I hope this life lesson for you, in short, is going to be, yes, be confident, but be confident because you took the time to get the knowledge. Because without the knowledge, you might get away with it for a couple months, but after a while, who don't understand, they're gone.